Hello everyone, in today's video I will be giving you a general progression guide for every class and every floor in Dungeons. If you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and consider purchasing my merch and memberships. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So to start off, the Catacombs has 5 different classes, each with their own abilities. First, there is the Berserk, which has extra reach with melee weapons and can spawn in mini zombies to fight with you. Second, there's the Archer, who, uses a bow. Third, we have the Healer, who heals your team and can revive them faster. They have an ability called the Wish, which buffs everyone's health. Fourth, we have a Mage, who uses weapons that are magical, such as the Hyperion, with abilities. And finally, last and certainly not least, we have the Tank, who basically takes in all the damage and buffs everyone's defenses. So now that you know about classes, try to decide one that you'll focus on. Let's get right into the floors. So we're actually going to be starting with floor 5, since it doesn't worth getting any special gear for anything before, as the amount of times that you play the first 4 floors are incredibly little. In floor 5, your main melee weapon will be a Livid Dagger, your armor will be Shadow Assassin armor, and around this time, you should be grinding Enderman Slayer for a Juju. Also make sure to 5-star all of your gear for dungeons. For floor 6, you mostly use the same armor except for the Tank. The Tank gets a special setup consisting of the Mender's Crown, the Necromancer Lowered, chestplate, leggings, and boots. For your weapon, by now you should have a Juju, and for your melee, you can decide if you want to stay with the Livid Dagger or if you want to switch to the Giant Sword, which is much more expensive, but in my opinion worth it since you will be grinding F6 for quite a while before you can do F7. Once you get to F7, you should start saving for a Hyperion with Wither Impact. You can also drop a Necron's Handle and scrolls needed to make a Hyperion if you can't afford it, though this will take a long while. In F7, your armor for Berserk and Healer will be Necron's chestplate, Necron's leggings, Necron or Maxer boots, and a golden Necron or diamond Necron head. If you have done enough runs, since you need 100 and 1,000 runs to unlock the heads. If you haven't done enough runs, you can use a Necron helmet or Tarantula helmet as a placeholder. For Mage in F7, you should be using Wither Goggles and Storm Chestplate, leggings, and boots. And for F7 Tank, you should use a Reaper Mask with Golder Chestplate, Golder leggings, and Golder boots. For Archer in F7, you should be using the same setup as the Berserk, except instead of a Necron's chestplate, you should be using a Skeleton Master chestplate since it allows for infinite arrows. Now, for Master modes, M1 and M2 aren't really worth doing, but M3 to M7 are the main floors and they can drop Master Stars, and they're way harder to do than normal floors. Master Stars are the red number next to the normal stars, which buff your gear in Master mode. So for this, you're going to want to get a booster cookie and do /RNG and set your RNG to Master Stars, although for M7 you can set it as a Necron's Handle if you want to. Note, you must have a comp for each floor to set an RNG. At this time you should have a term, or you should be grinding a term, although I will say it does take a lot of grinding Enderman carries for this. Besides a term, the gear should be mostly the same as the normal floors, but around now, you should be getting a Golden Dragon with a 1 bill bank, which you can unlock through the museum, and 1k magical power. And that's an overview of Dungeons on Hypixel Skyblock. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.